Hi, this is Becky Grumlick, and today's Tuesday tip is about blending and washes. And we're going to start with a piece of paper that's been taped off. This is something I recommend you trying at home. It seems like it might be a waste of paper to some people if you're scrounging around for money, but practice does make perfect. And practicing how to do a wash and how to blend colors is one of the most important things to learn. So I'm going to make this background wet here, and I'm using a squirrel brush, which holds a ton of water, so it makes things wet really quickly. And the first thing we're going to do is put some color down. Now I'm thinking in my head that this is going to be sky and water. And so I'm starting with some manganese blue up at the top. And you want to go over your tape on one side and all the way over and let it blend down. Now I got that very wet. I'm going to put a little bit of phthalo on top of it so that I get a more vibrant blue, and then come down with the manganese. So I've dipped my brush in the water. I touch it to my sponge so some of the water goes out, and then I move down to the next part. And then it fades as you go. Now I'm just going to touch my brush on there again. I'm not going to dip it again. I wanted to go all the way back up there to get it smoothed out, but I do want it brighter than that. So back to some more paint. And since I'm thinking water, I'm going to have blue on this side as well. I want it to fade. The sky fades towards the horizon. And then you can either have your your green, if you choose these two colors, be irregular or be regular. And I want it to blend into these. This is Sap Green by Core, which is so I dipped my brush, didn't rinse it, just dipped it. And then I'm moving down into the blue. And gonna do that up here as well. And I'm going to go back to the blue again and fade into that. Dry my brush and fade into that. If you dip your brush in the water too many times, your colors will get very watered down. So there we have a graded wash that goes from blue to green to blue, and I will do a doodle on here and make something out of it. It's really good to play with your colors and just to learn what they do and play with paint. And I could have done something on this side that was more more of a blended color, but more of blending like you would do on a leaf maybe. But I want to do something else for blending colors, so I'm gonna think flowers this time. So this is stuff that's not from a picture, this is just play. And okay, I got it too dry, so let's get it wetter. Rinse brush, wet paper. So I want this to spread out. I'm going with the same green. If you get it too thick, it'll just stay there like that. So you're getting it wet down. So it's good to put it on your tray, mix it up a little bit, and then go on from there. And now I'm going to drop in and let spread some magenta. So I'm going from a sort of low-key green to a pretty intense pink. Now I don't want these all to turn to mud, so I'm going to do some blending, and that's what is important to learn. So I dried my brush and it went around the edges. It softens the edge and makes it look more blended. It'll still keep spreading, but there's not as much water, so it won't spread as crazily. Put some more blue down here, green I mean. Okay, and I'm going to add some blue in between this, just little bits, for variety. Now my paper's gotten a little bit drier, so I want that to blend into the rest of the paper. So again, I rinsed my brush just a little bit, not really rinsed, just dipped it. And now I'm smoothing the edges. So they'll keep spreading, but they won't have all those fingers on them. They'll be softened and blended. And let's go for some more greens. Actually, I think I'm gonna make one of these pink patches be quite large. Okay, put down the color, going around and smoothing that edge so that it blends more softly with a drier brush. And then we'll put some little spots of blue here and there. And those I want to blend a little more, just to be a hint. So I'm getting a very dry brush and almost erasing them. All right, now, looking at that and thinking flowers, I decided I'm gonna add a touch of yellow here and there. My yellow got a little bit blue in it, a little bit of blue in it, so it's turned somewhat green. And of course, when you put it on blue, it'll turn green. All right, now those need to be softened a little bit too, so I'm drying the brush a lot this time because I wanna not have the yellow be the thing that pops the most. I want the magenta to pop the most, and that yellow's got pretty loud. Okay, so now we have these blended colors on this side and this wash on this side. And I'll show you some of the things I've done with, this is an exercise that we often do in class. And then I take my doodles and I do whatever. That was a little owl. Sometimes I do more definite things like a boot, ocean scene, flower. This one was one where I dropped the colors in, and so I turned it into floral. That also dropped colors in. Camping. Okay, there's a ton of them. Maybe you don't want to see them all. That one I didn't know what to do with. I didn't really like how it came out, but people that like abstract might. Roots or trees. Depends what you decide. Have fun practicing. Bye.